Hi friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Charlie. I'm glad you're here. And this video is your reminder that your life is not a TikTok trend. You're not behind, you're not doing it wrong, you're just living at your own pace. And that's powerful. Today I want to talk to you about staying grounded in who you are, even when the world keeps telling you to reinvent yourself every 3 weeks. And without further talking, I would say we just get right into it. If you're in your 20s, or honestly just a human, feeling lost is part of the process. The internet moves very fast, trends move even faster, but growth takes time. You don't need to be aesthetic all the time, rich, productive or glowing 24/7 to be valuable. And you're not supposed to have it all figured out, because that's not what life is and what life is about. If you are a person that watches TikTok or even is on Instagram a lot, you notice that one week it's clean girl, then that girl, then soft life, then hyper independent. And if you ask me, it's exhausting. You're not a Pinterest board, you're a person. You don't need to be an aesthetic and you don't have to keep up with every vibe. You can just be you, and that's all you need, because the pressure to rebrand yourself constantly just comes from those trends and from the internet, which is changing and moving faster day by day. So think about who you are without that whole internet noise. Take away what's trending and see what's left. The books you love, the music that makes you feel safe, the version of you that feels most like home. That's who you're becoming, not who the algorithm decides this month. Because if you're honest, you are more than just those trends, and you don't need to adapt to every trend. What you need to remember with all those trends going around, social media is a highlight reel and not a manual to your life. Everyone looks like they found themselves online, but most people are still figuring it out offline, and they are just showing their highlights. So please be careful not to compare your real life journey to someone's filtered one. You're not late, you're learning, and that's okay, because everyone is, and there are a few creators that are also showing that side of their story. But please remember, even I can edit out everything that I say in this video that I don't want to go out into the internet, and every YouTuber, every content creator can. You just see what I or every other person wants you to see. You're all allowed to change, grow, try new things, but you don't have to perform your evolution for the internet. Do it for you, quietly, gently, honestly, and remember that your identity isn't a fixed thing, and that's okay. You change throughout the years and you become another version of you, and that's totally fine, but please don't change the version you currently are because of a trend, because you are you for a reason. And if you like the trend, I don't say don't adapt some things into your life, but don't shift your whole life and the way you look at yourself because you saw a trend online. What I use when I'm down for 2 hours and don't want to do anything and feel a little bit lost, I try to reconnect with myself, and I wrote down some gentle prompts that you can use if you have this issue. What makes you feel most like you? What do you love doing when no one's watching? When do you feel most calm, present and joyful? And start there. That's where your real self lives. That's where you can figure out who you are on the inside, because if we're honest, the most important part we have about ourselves is our personality and what's inside of us. And I think that's great, and I also love that life is a journey, but sometimes you just need to remember yourself that it's fun to figure things out. And with these prompts, I always get my head to stop thinking about every trend that is going on right now and start focusing on me again. And the most important thing you need to remember is that you're not behind. You are becoming. The most authentic people you will meet often take the longest to bloom, because they are not faking it. They are themselves because they worked on themselves. They figured out who they want to be, who they are becoming, what their values are, and they're not a trend. They're timeless. And that is also what I want to give you. You're not a trend. You're also timeless. You don't need to go viral to be valid, and you don't need a main character arc to be worthy. You just need to come home to yourself again and again and figure out who you want to become on the inside. Who inspires you? Who are you looking up to? What about the people you are looking up to do you like? And then you can see if you want to adapt it or not. But don't adapt a Pinterest board. Don't adapt every single lifestyle, because if I did that, I would have been a visco girl, a clean girl, an e-girl, and all of the above in a span of 5 years. And now think about how much that A would have costed me, and B, I would have needed to change within this span. A lot, I can tell you. I think the self-discovery era and figuring out who you are and who you want to become is a lot of fun. And as I said, it's okay to take inspiration from some trends, and it's okay to take inspiration from some people and say, hey, I love XYZ's personality, or I love that part about their outfits a lot, and take inspiration from that, but don't copy paste them on your body. You are your own person. Don't get lost in the trends. The last advice I want to give you is go through the list of the people you follow on Instagram, on TikTok, and see who brings you joy and see who makes you feel worse about yourself. And in this case, sometimes it isn't the person that makes you feel bad about yourself, but it's the comparison that you have in your head. When I follow very skinny-legged fitness influencers, I feel worse about myself because I will never be that, because I don't have the genetics to look like that. And I know that, so I don't follow them. And as soon as I see them on my For You page, I skip over these videos. And I think we all need to have people that make us feel better about ourselves on our feet, and that bring us joy and lighten up our day and give us comfort, and not people that drag us down and make us feel worse about ourselves and like we need to fit into some trend, because we don't. We are good the way we are, and it's okay that everybody has a different personality, and I think that's great, and that's the best thing there is, because otherwise we would all be the same, and I think that would be a very, very boring life. And that's the last thing I want to say. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I helped you a little bit with seeing through the TikTok trends and every other trend, and try to find yourself and try to be yourself completely. And if you're in your self-discovery era and have more questions or videos I should film that are in this self-discovery, personality growing, confidence growing sector, you can comment that down below, or comment video ideas that you want to see down below, because I'm right there with you. I'm figuring it out myself, and if you have any questions, please ask. Make someone's day this week. You are worthy, you are beautiful, and your personality is one of a kind. Please don't forget that. And we see us next week with another video. Bye!
1, 2, 3, funky. My darling, I love you, I love you.